And I should say, one more thing that I just because I, of whatever, I don't even want to like get into the politics of any of it, but I did see Ian Carroll, and I'm not trying to like personally blast him or anything like that. I'm not starting any feuds or nothing like that. I've said nice things about Ian in the past. I know he said nice things about me, but I see him out there and I've seen a bunch of other people doing this, but it's just like, if you want to go look through it, I mean, it's just crazy. But like, he had this post about how Israel did this. Israel just murdered Charlie Kirk. And you know me, I don't know. I'm biggest fan of Israel, but I literally just replied and I went, what evidence do we have that Israel was involved with this at all? And I mean, man, if you want to be disturbed, like go look through the replies to that. It is unbelievable how people put together theory. They're like, what evidence do you have? By the way, the answer is none. We have absolutely no evidence. There's absolutely no reason to even suspect that is the case, let alone to determine that it's a fact. And all the things people are posing, it's just like, guys, Jesus Christ, man, I'm sorry. I just don't go for sloppy, kooky theories. Like, if you got some evidence, bring it to me and I'll be the first one to look into it. But then people going like, he was waking up to Israel. Like, dude, he said release the Epstein files, and he once on an interview said like, the pro-Israel people are getting a little too crazy when they're accusing even me of being anti-Israel, but that's about it. And like, to his credit, he defended like having me at the thing and having Tucker and Megan there and stuff, but like, you've just got no real theory here, and it just makes no sense at all. Like, telling me the government of Israel took out their number one guy who still had influence amongst young people. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all. And I don't think it's like, I don't know. I think honestly, in a way, I think a lot of those guys might have fallen into their own dark force where they're just so, wrapped up in blaming Israel and blame for everything that you start to see it, or you kind of desire that conclusion before you've even reached it. But I think like anyone, like, let's just fucking breathe on this for a little bit. Let's get again, as I say all the time, I'm not against a conspiracy theory. I love a good conspiracy theory. Lots of them are true, but like, you gotta like have a case to make. You got to have evidence, a coherent narrative, a through line, different, things that back up your assertions. It can't just be this like, just, I don't know. We'll just say that. We'll say it was them. Who cares? Like, I hate that shit. I should say, and I'll probably wrap up here in a sec, because I think I pretty much said what I wanted to. I will say, one of the things that's one of the reasons say, well, you don't want to fall into those dark forces that I was talking about, like why you don't want to fall into this like all encompassing hate or rage or whatever, despair, any of like the bad things that you don't want to fall into, is because it becomes blinding. As the same thing I'm saying almost there. Like, you could really, really hate the government of Israel. Like, you could even hate Israel. You could even hate Jewish people or whatever. And like, if you still are concerned with getting things right, getting to the truth of things, then you don't want to fall into the thing where you're always immediately blaming them first. Cause like, obviously there are other factors in the world too. There are other forces, and if you're falling into that, right, you could see where the problem is that you're missing what really happened. You're going with the conclusion you want. And so you're not seeing the truth. And that's kind of the problem with all these things. It's the problem with like all encompassing hatred too, because it's real easy to like fall into like, oh my God, you look at some of these left-wingers on TikTok celebrating Charlie Kirk died, fucking war, I'm angry, I'm this. But then you kind of miss the fact that like, hey, look at all these other guys who are actually saying the right thing. And I saw there was this one video that had, I must have lost it in the timeline, but it was like a left-wing looking type person who was a TikTok video that was going super viral, had like millions and millions of views on it. And they were going like, yeah, what's wrong with all you guys? Like, a human being just got killed. He's got a family. Like, I don't know. You disagree with his ideas? Like, he was there to debate the ideas. What's wrong? And there were a ton of people agreeing with him too. So like, just like keep that in mind too. There's also the beauty in the world, and there's also people kind of doing the right things. And you don't want to miss that, because that's kind of, that's the hope that's what makes life worth living. That's the thing that is like gives us possibilities of a better outcome. And I will say that there are, if I'm giving shit to people who kind of didn't pass that test, and I say like my basic test is just like, and I think this is not that unreasonable. I think it's like it's a pretty low bar to be able to get over. And I think the test is just that, like, when something like this happens, you're appropriately horrified. You just go, that is awful. This is inexcusable. I feel horrible for the family and all that. You don't start like hate mongering and getting everybody worked up and furious about the other side. It's a thing that people do online. It's great for fucking clicks, and it's great for, you know what I mean? Like, and it feels good in a way too. I'm sure a lot of people genuinely believe it. It's easy to genuinely believe it in a moment like this. But like, you don't do that. You don't start jumping to wild theories and stating them as if they're fact, when you can't even build a coherent theory, yet alone know this for a fact. You don't start doing that, and you don't start like, equivocating about who was really wrong or who wasn't. It's like, just be that. Just like, it's the most basic of tests.